I think oftentimes when we are on our way somewhere, we don't really reflect on how far we've come or what's been manifested along the way. And I have absolutely been guilty of this myself, so I'm going to call myself out here. I was making my bed recently, and so I'm just kind of fluffing my pillows and smoothing out the sheet and stuff. And I realized that I have a brand new mattress that I literally manifested, that I did not pay for, and I've had some of the most amazing nights of sleep since we've gotten it. And I'm making my bed and I'm just like, whoa, wait a second. You manifested this. This is something that wasn't here before, and now it is. And so I decided in that moment to just stop. Just stop. And I want you to just feel that in your body. And this is what I realized is what is usually missing from our gratitude practice and our manifestation practice and, all of the energetics of our life, our reality, our intentions, purpose, etc. And so to become the version of yourself that is the most authentic, the most truthful, the most real, raw, magnetic, it meant that I had to really embody a version of myself that I could envision. And I felt like I could sometimes touch her, but I couldn't really land her in my body. And so I kept looking for all of these exterior things because it felt like it was something from the outside of me that was making me feel good, right? Like receiving this mattress. It's oh my gosh, this is amazing. This saved me $1,000, this is great. But to really recognize that I am a creator, that I have created this reality in which I am magnetic to receive things like mattresses and, we've manifested actually so much when I think about it. We manifested a refrigerator. We've manifested actually quite a bit of furniture, patio furniture, living room furniture, dining room furniture. And what's very interesting about this too is I'm going to share the fact that when our oldest daughter was about 5 months old, we moved into this attic apartment up north, and it was February. It was 8 degrees outside, and we had no furniture. Well, that's not true. So our daughter had everything that she needed. She had her crib. She had her little diaper changing stations. She had her bouncy seat. She had a high chair. Our daughter had everything she needed. It was us that really didn't have much of anything. We had the top part of a mattress, and we didn't have living room furniture. We didn't have dining room furniture. We had, was it 2 or 4 plates? I think it was 4 plates. We had purchased a set of 4 plates at Target, along with a set of 4 for silverware, 4 forks, 4 spoons, 4 knives. And then over time, we had started to be able to accumulate some furniture, which were mostly just hand-me-downs. But our living room furniture, this is where it gets really funny. It was patio furniture because we couldn't afford a regular chair. So it's we didn't have a chair to sit in. We ate on the floor. Kira would be in her high chair, and we would put it down on the lowest setting possible So we'd bring her closer down to our level because we sat on the floor and ate. And this was not funny at the time, by the way. I want to express that quite vividly, that this was a very, very difficult time in my life. I was, 25, 26? And you don't picture your life like that when you're a little girl, right? When you're a little girl, everybody's like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And then when you get older, everybody tells you who they want you to be when you grow up. And it feels like you've kind of painted yourself into a corner, and it felt very suffocating for me because I made a lot of decisions based on exterior circumstances. And the whole point of this is me letting you know how I embodied the woman that I am, the most authentic, the most truthful, the most raw and real Renee, and the journey of becoming who I am, who was always there. It was not like I put on a different outfit and it's like I became a different person. It was peeling away all of the exterior layers to find what was true and real and raw and honest on the inside. And understanding how to process and feel my own emotions, to be completely honest, to really feel my emotions. And this ties into me making the bed and full transparency, literally standing there in tears, feeling the full body experience of the gratitude of what has been manifested. Because when I started feeling into the mattress manifestation, it was around the time of my husband's birthday. And I was also really feeling into the most incredible man that has been manifested. And I mean that because we've spent more than half of our lives together. And even though, there's been obviously challenges, conflict, and navigating so many things in life, everything in life together, that this was the person that I manifested to be my life partner. That this is the person that my soul magnetized through the ethers, through the sands of time, that we would be together. And then I started feeling into, after, miscarriages, the creation of my children with this person. And going from, it's going to make me cry, going from a time when we were eating our dinner on the floor to our beautiful home and our life. The abundance of love. It's not just the stuff that we have now. It's what we have manifested through our dedication and our devotion to our lives, to being the best versions of ourselves, to leading ourselves to that through some of the hardest things, to developing trust in each other and ourselves and the universe and God, healing, evolving, sharing, inviting. But it's when I look back at all of the memories that have been made along the way, how many times I've discredited my journey because I should have been further along and I should have had more and I should be further and it should just be different, because it should feel different. It should be different. It should look different. And I'm realizing so clearly that everything is enough. Everything is what you have made. And there can also be so much more. You've created the reality that you're in. I created the reality I was in. My reality was, multiphobic and dealing with some very difficult emotional traumas. Post-traumatic stress disorder, agoraphobia, panic disorder, depression, generalized anxiety disorder, having ADHD, on top of all of that, because processing your life and your experiences while also navigating substance abuse and neurodivergency, trying to raise a family, be the best version of yourself possible, and then continuing to ask yourself every day, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? The journey was knowing that I was enough and that I could be more. Knowing that I wasn't being punished, so stop punishing yourself. Recognize that there is a deeper truth, a hidden wisdom, a sacredness to this entire journey. And by allowing yourself to really feel it, opens up pathways to things that at first were actually very uncomfortable, but then actually became ecstatic in my energy field. Like I just really started I really just started feeling so positive, it's actually more than positivity. I started allowing myself to experience the pleasure of my experiences. So if there was a night that I didn't want to cook dinner, I would be like, ugh, I don't want to do this tonight, ugh. I just want to be served. I would love to just be served. That would be very pleasurable. To be just like, I have a chef that comes in and cooks all the food and then cleans everything up. And it's wonderful and it's perfect. And, within my desired calorie intake and high protein, high fiber, all the things, blah, blah, blah. And that wasn't going to happen. So I actually just paused. And I said to myself, well, you kind of have a choice here, Renee. You have a choice. You have a choice to either just kind of go into this miserably, right? Just reaching and grabbing the pans and just kind of letting them slap down on the countertop or the stove. And that didn't feel good to me. That didn't feel like something I wanted to actually explore. So I decided to explore it in a different way. And I was like, what if it didn't feel like this dreaded thing? And I could kind of make it feel like, one of those kind of sexy commercials where you see the woman kind of dancing in the kitchen and she's kind of spinning around and she's really into this. She's really into this. She is loving cooking dinner right now and she's chopping vegetables and, there's spices that are kind of flying in the air and, there's something very magnetic about it. There's something kind of sensual about it. And it really just feels like this woman loves cooking dinner for her family. She loves it. She is all about this right now. She thinks this is the greatest thing ever. And what's the difference between the version of me that is kind of meh, I don't want to do this right now, and the version of me that is this could actually be fun. I could actually make this fun. The version of me that doesn't believe it could be fun is the one that's probably been thinking about a lot of different things. My brain is tired. How can I think about dinner? I've already spent all my thinking today. And so that brought me to a new realization, which was we think way too much, which I already knew that. We are not embodying the pleasure of our life enough, which I was really figuring that out quickly. And that we have a choice. We absolutely have a choice. So I decided to feel good about it. I just decided that it would be fun to feel good. And I can't say that spices were flying or, like there were no like slow-mo montages of me cooking. But I put music on and, music that would feel good and fun and easy to listen to and get me in the mood for cooking, and I did have a couple of little twirls and I did shimmy my way across the floor a couple of times. And I felt like the energy that I put into the food I was preparing was obviously a very different frequency versus if I had prepared dinner for my family and kind of like I don't want to do this. This does not feel good to me. I wish I was doing something else right now. And then feeling slightly resentful that this is always my job every day, that it always falls on me to prepare dinner. And it's like, I don't need to go there. I love cooking. I love being in the kitchen. I love doing this. When we fall out of alignment with the pleasure of our life and the magnetism and the desire and the ecstasy and the blissfulness and the deliciousness and all of that, it's because we're spending way too much time in our heads thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking. And we think about what we want and we think about what we don't have and we think about where we're going and we're thinking about all the things. And then we're missing out on opportunities to really feel the bliss of what you have manifested and what you've created in your life, And the funny thing is like, this wasn't like a boat, you know what I mean? Like it's my bed, I was just making my bed and feeling it. And it wasn't about like, this luxurious dinner on a yacht or at the top of the Eiffel Tower. It was just a regular, like freaking Wednesday night cooking dinner. So you don't have to sacrifice what's here because you think that something else would be better. Because what's here is really good and there can be more. This has been an extraordinary lesson for me. And it has manifested things in my life faster than I could even realize, just going through my daily, everyday stuff. So really take time to look around, but not just looking around, really feeling your life. The things that don't feel good and the things that really do feel good and the things that can feel better because you do have that power. And it's an exciting journey, even though sometimes it's a little scary because it is uncomfortable. But we can't grow. I can't grow. You can't grow. We can't grow without that discomfort. We just can't do it. We've got to get uncomfortable. But I also feel that we can shift that feeling of discomfort to a feeling of like, I'm growing, and that's why this kind of sucks. And on the other side of this experience is going to be something pretty spectacular. And I can't wait to find out what it is.